I've learned a lot about the Apple Watch Series 10 over the last 2 months. We need to talk. The Apple Watch Series 10 is the first time in 3 years that Apple have actually taken the time to redesign the watch from the ground up. They've given us a bigger screen, they've given us a smaller body, and we're going to dive into whether those tweaks and the extra functionality that comes with the Series 10 is actually worth your money and actually worth upgrading. We have to start with the design of the Apple Watch Series 10. It's the first time in a long time they've made a significant change to how it looks and how it feels. They've made it a millimeter thinner, which when you only say a millimeter, it doesn't feel like it's that much. But on the few occasions where you do handle your Apple Watch, you do pick it up from when it's charging, that 1 millimeter makes such a difference in your hand. Whilst it's on the wrist, it sits a little bit more flush, it sits a little bit closer to your wrist, which therefore means the sensors are able to get closer to the wrist and give you more accurate readings. And then we've got the brand new screen. Again, Apple have only made it 1 millimeter bigger, but when you put it next to the Apple Watch Series 8 or 9, you can feel the difference, you can see the difference. And if you go back even further in the Apple Watch generations, the screen difference is just boggling. It is such a large, amazing screen. The Series 10 screen is actually bigger than the flagship Apple Watch Ultra 2. Now, imagine if they did that on a phone, where they gave the larger screen to the regular iPhone 16 and the 16 Pro Max had a smaller screen. It just wouldn't ever happen. I don't quite understand how Apple have allowed that to happen when at the same time as refreshing the Apple Watch Series 10, they gave us a new Apple Watch Ultra 2, and fundamentally it wasn't a new watch, it was just a new color. So they could have given us a bigger screen, but they chose to give the bigger screen to the normal Series 10. The only negative I found from the new form factor is that because it's a little bit thinner, they've had to make the digital crown smaller. And now it's a little less easy to grab and rotate. And because the body's thinner, it actually means that the digital crown gets caught on my arm and it makes it really difficult to rotate. So don't get me wrong, normally you're using your finger to navigate the user interface, that's okay. But the time when you want to use a digital crown, because it's a little easier, you get a little bit more dexterity from it, you can be a bit more accurate. On the occasions where I've found that I want to use the digital crown, it's getting caught on my arm and making it a little bit more tricky to actually navigate the operating system. Even though Apple have made a number of design changes to the Apple Watch over a number of years, they've still allowed us to have backwards compatibility for all of our watch straps, dating all the way back to the Series 4. So if you're considering upgrading, if you're thinking, I want to buy a new watch, as long as you keep to the same larger or smaller size, so whether you have the 49mm watch now, if you had the 44mm watch or the 42mm watch from the Series 4, you're still going to be able to keep all of your watch straps and put them straight onto the Series 10. When it comes to interacting with your watch on a daily basis, the user interface is so simple to use. It's a typical Apple experience. It fits so simply and effortlessly into your ecosystem, and it is just a perfect extension for your mobile phone. It makes you keep your phone in your pocket that little bit longer, and you can just navigate and get rid of and see what your notifications are at a glance. And that is probably, in my opinion, the number one reason to have a smartwatch, is to keep your phone in your pocket that little bit longer. You can glance at a notification, swipe it away, reply to a text message, send a voice note. You can do so much simply and easily from your wrist that it means you can keep your watch in your pocket just that little bit longer. And you've got all day battery life. There is enough battery to be able to comfortably get through a day. The way I do it, because I wear it to bed at night to track my sleep habits, I give it a blast whilst I'm relaxing in bed of an evening, and I give it another blast in the morning when I'm having a shower getting ready for work. So those two blasts comfortably means that I can get all the way through the day and all the way through the night. If you're finding this video helpful right now, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. I have got massive ambitions to grow this channel and to be able to bring you even more content from the tech that we all like in a simple, straightforward, unfiltered way. So if you have found it helpful, please do consider subscribing in. I really do appreciate it. There are so many health monitoring sensors built into the Apple Watch Series 10 that it's one of the best health monitoring devices on the market, full stop. You've got all of your vitals monitoring that you get a daily report on if you wear your watch to sleep. It detects sleep apnea now. If you're outside of the US, then you've got your blood oxygen levels as well to detect the oxygen flowing around your body. You can carry out an ECG on your wrist with just holding your finger on the digital crown whilst it conducts the test. You've got atrial fibrillation detection, fall detection, you've got cycle tracking for women. All of the activity tracking that is baked into the Apple Watch gives you enough data for you to dive into the weeds with it if that's kind of your thing. But if you just want to monitor your runs, track your workouts at the gym, track a rowing session, the Apple Watch Series 10 can monitor and track almost any sport that you want. I always track every run that I go for with my Apple Watch, and I don't ever want to be taking my phone out with me on those runs. And that's where the Apple Watch integration to the Apple ecosystem comes to the fore, because I can now download my music from my phone onto my Apple Watch, connect my AirPods Pro 2 to my watch, leave my phone at home and then go for a run. So I'm not lugging my phone around with me. I've just got my watch, my AirPods Pro 2, and I'm off for a jog with all of my fitness activity being tracked. It's a simple, easy, effortless integration for the Apple ecosystem yet again. And it's one of the main reasons why I ditched the Garmin Epix Pro Gen 2 and went back to the Apple Watch. The thing that you stare at every single day, and we've seen one of the best improvements on an Apple Watch in years, is the new display that's been put onto the Series 10. We've got a wide angle OLED display that is brighter and it's better and can be viewed from more angles. So no longer do you need to do a little sneaky watch check. The viewing angle now is even wider, so your sneaky checks can be a little bit more sneaky when you're trying to get out of a meeting or see what the time is. You don't have to be as obvious. So that wide angle technology makes it brighter, easier to see, and is a fantastic improvement to the Apple Watch Series 9. So with a new design that's slimmer and lighter, with a brand new display that's got a wider viewing angle and is brighter, the ability to have all of the same straps going all the way back to the Series 4 Apple Watch, from even more health tracking capabilities and more fitness and activity tracking than ever before, as well as still doing all of the stuff that Apple Watch does so fantastically, from the integration to iOS, answering messages, seeing notifications, taking phone calls. The Apple Watch Series 10 is a decent upgrade this year, and if you've got the Apple Watch Series 8, it's a no-brainer, definitely to have an upgrade. If you've got the Series 9, then maybe you kind of sit on the fence and wait for the Series 11. But the Series 10 is a good upgrade, and if you can justify it and you want the new watch, you really won't be disappointed with the Series 10. Thanks for watching. Speak soon. Out.